What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Staying Alpha channel, guys. We have the VeVe AMA going on now. VeVe is celebrating 1 year. Okay, VeVe is actually 1 year old now. So happy birthday to VeVe. They have a AMA space that's just getting started, getting ready to start. So you're not missing out anything as of right now. So we're gonna jump right into it, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Smash that like button if you are enjoying the content. VeVe, it has been a nice long journey and it's only going to get better. You guys got into this space when VeVe was in its baby stages. Now, if anything, VeVe's crawling, maybe about to start walking once we actually go on to Immutable X. So if you're just joining VeVe, you're not too late. If you're one of the OGs on VeVe, congratulations for getting onto OMI in the early stages. Congratulations on flipping a couple NFTs or actually holding on to 10, 15, 20, 30 cents, how many it is that you have. But guys, let's get into the video and let's get started. Welcome to the Staying Alpha channel. Okay, I didn't set up my chat, but I do see you guys. I see Frank's on here. Frank stating that he just bought some more OMI token. Welcome to everyone on the channel. I always forget to put this on every single time. Okay, Eddie Perez, 3GP, what's going on, guys? So either way, let's get into the AMA. Let's start listening to the space. Guys, let me know in the comments if you guys hear it pretty well.
The one is ultra rare. They emphasize that it is in comic world is the ultra rare. I mean, this is amazing gift. I'll share with everyone on my Instagram later today. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, Dave, I'll share with you. Make sure you put those white gloves on before opening the page.
Yes. I couldn't believe that. And the other one was celebrating Stan Lee on the cover. Both of these apparently is only one of the less than 20 or 25 ever minted. So definitely going into the collection. It's very, very nice of Marvel. So it's a very surprise. So it's a happy moment on top of the best moment. Yeah.
Congratulations. It has been a pretty incredible year. Is this the part you announced you're going to do a giveaway with that comic?
I think I'll leave that one with Dan. I think Dan had some. Yeah.
Dan had some. Oh, that's good. Dan, have you got a standout moment from the last 12 months?
Oh, gosh. So many moments standing out in my brain right now.
It's a little bit low, guys, and that's the Twitter space is low. I can't raise it anymore. This is at full volume.
Say that, from a more holistic point of view, I mean, it has just been obviously everyone who's been on the wild ride, from the OGs to the season tours. Just massive appreciation to everyone in the audience. I think everyone knows we never really anticipate. I mean, we always were hopeful that the product would be popular, but yeah, just the overwhelming support has been amazing. So from my side, a big thanks to everyone who's been involved through the ups and the downs and the future up and downs, which are more likely going to happen.
Oh yeah, can't avoid them. Yeah, I specifically remember being awake at 2 a.m. for the gold Moogly, the Toy Tokyo drop, and everything fell apart, and then for the next 3 or 4 hours, we all had such a fun conversation at that time in the morning until it came back online. But when I look back at those drops compared to now, and just see, truly measure how far we've come, it's pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just to second that, in the early days, it was like, I'd wake up on Friday morning, which is, we were doing one drop a week all of those years / months ago. And it was always like, damage control. But now, obviously especially I don't do it enough, but really just to give a shout out to the tech team, because they they really have gone above and beyond. We're basically selling out of comics with all of the collectibles within seconds. So to build a system solution that can process that many orders in such a short amount of time is a huge undertaking. So very, very proud of the team and everything that they've sort of accomplished so far.
Yep, Agreed. And I might just take a second to shout out all of our mods, all the volunteers, everybody in our community that creates content. I mean, you know, it's one thing for us to try and put out information, but you guys are truly doing the work in helping us get that to the corners of the community. So big shout out and big thank you to everybody who supports us on this journey as well. But on that note, shall we kick off with some of the week's or fortnight's biggest items? Ready for that?
Yep. Always ready.
Fantastic. Let's once again bust some fun, because it seems we can't escape this at the moment. We have seen a couple of bot photos shared on socials which have blown up, same as it usually does. Obviously this isn't the first time we've dealt with this, and anyone who has been around since the start of the year would know that we've implemented quite a number of measures to try and combat these kind of things, whether it was even adding the countdown timer. I mean, that in itself was a development that we added at one point. So we're always working to work against these kind of nefarious actors. But Dan, you are the man with the data and the actual information, not the speculation. So do you want to comment on this week's fund?
Oh, right. I'm actually getting my data off Twitter. Is that not the right place?
That's right, come on. But
yeah. I guess, you know, I wanted to kick off this part of the conversation just with a bit more of a holistic viewpoint, which is that, you know, obviously things can go, you know, crazy viral on Twitter. And the other example that I'd like to give is, you know, with the whole DC thing a couple of weeks ago, where, you know, there was a mistake in the DC department. Obviously, VeVe was the first one to drop DC NFTs well over a year ago. But, you know, that whole thing, that one little thing caused massive amounts of FUD, even though it was completely untrue. And it really is very much the same with the bots. And like I've been very transparent on all the AMAs, and as you touched on, Reese, that in any industry like this, whether it's sneakers or movie tickets or anything that's of a low number editions that has high value to people, people with bots are going to try, and that's we're never going to get away from. However, even though there has been a couple of videos out there, that by all means does not indicate that, you know, all of the drops are completely overtaken by bots. It is still sitting in that extremely low percentile that I've mentioned previously. So from our side, you know, there really hasn't been too much change in terms of the botters. You know, our systems automatically detect 99% of bots and shut them down. However, I think the other side of the table here is that, you know, with everyone helping the community with, you know, what they've been posting, what they've been spreading, you know, all of the news out there about VeVe, we have had, you know, considerably higher users coming into the platform. So, you know, even like we've touched on previously, even going back, I mean, even in August, you know, when we first started dropping comics, it was, you know, it was feasible that you could get sort of 2 or 3 coming in. But now, you know, for every drop, there's nearly 4, 5, 6 times the amount of use in the app trying to get these very low editions. I mean, even this morning on Edo, and, you know, congratulations to everyone who got it, because there was literally more than 55,000 people waiting in the app for 1,900 editions. So where it might seem like there's bots, and you know, I've always been transparent. I'm not saying that there aren't bots. I'm saying that there is a very, very low number, like 1%. But there is just, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side of the fence you're on, there are just so many users now who are trying to get the assets. And that's why, you know, this perception of bots, because everything sells out so instantly. But I just want to reassure the community again that, you know, this is we have people in the company dedicated and devoted to, you know, making sure these bots stay out of the system. And it will probably never get there 100%, but, you know, we're always sitting around the 99% mark, which I think is, you know, perfectly fine from my point of view.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, I mean, it's not like we've just put measures in and then we stopped and we thought, yeah, job well done. You know, we're always looking to implement better systems to really cut down on these things. And as you just mentioned, you know, everyone in the community helping to share this content and share these kind of things with us. If anyone hasn't seen it, Taps Trade YouTube channel just put a bit of a video together, really just explaining the other side of it as well, and where this exists in, you know, like you said, Dan, with sneakers or other kind of drops, and how people try to take advantage. And by the same token, I mean, the way this industry runs, a lot of people stand to benefit by scaring you out of your collectibles, or, you know, by perpetuating this story. So it's always good just to be aware of other people's motives when sharing this content as well, and what that can actually do to your collection if you choose to exacerbate that situation. So good to have that there. Another thing, and look, I guess some people have picked up on this, like, as much as we've tried to build this app to be as compatible on as many devices as possible, like, if your phone is 10 years old and a bit of a potato, it's probably going to be slower. You know, it's I think that's a fair assumption. So not that we're suggesting people upgrade their hardware, but it is something to be aware of depending on what devices you're using as well.
And I think just to add to that, like I was saying before, it is becoming more of a competitive environment now. And that's why, you know, and to be honest, I love the photos, people lying right next to the router, you know, everything. So yeah, I mean, really, that is what it comes down to, that you're in a more competitive environment to get these assets, at least on the primary market.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the measures that we implemented in the last week or so seemed to have catched some people in the net. There's been a bit of a Wi-Fi issue and some market restrictions. Do you want to just explain that a little bit? Give people some info.
October 16th, Saturday is the next drop.
Yes, and so apologies to anyone who has been caught up with the market restrictions. I think we tweeted out quite a few times that if you are an affected user, then you can go through the support channel, and we have asked support to prioritize those tickets as they come through. But again, you know, one thing I just wanted to touch on is that while this may seem like a widespread problem, because of all of the exposure you see on Twitter, it really is, you know, only in the low hundreds of users that have been affected. But like I say, I do apologize to anyone who has been affected by that, and please reach out to support if you haven't already, and we will prioritize your account or your issue ASAP, because we hate it when collectors can't get what they want to collect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not like we're sitting here just the evil masters of the game. You know, we're trying.
Well, I don't know. Apparently we are. Right?
Yeah, some of the comments I get, but we are trying to make this as fair and fun for everybody as we can. So, you know, we do ask that people are patient when these things happen, and you know, maybe just take a step back sometimes. Like, I understand that a week in the world of VeVe seems like a lifetime, but the devs really are working around the clock to try and bring these resolutions to the forefront. So we do appreciate your patience and ask for a little bit more of it while we work through these things.
Yeah, just in that front, we are bringing up more customer service support. So just be with us, please. And we try to put people around every time zone to support this as well. So just everyone aware, we do understand the pressure points. And yeah, and just give us some time to get through these. We definitely have a lot more user than we had about 10 months ago.
Yeah, absolutely we do. I think 10 months ago there was 7 of us.
Yeah.
Including you, me, and Dave.
Yeah, exactly. The good old days, eh? Yeah, for sure. All right, I might just take a moment to set the room now that we've covered that, and then we'll dive into more updates. So big thank you for everyone for joining us today, and a big welcome. We will continue to run through the main points and conversation points in the community, after which we will open the floor. We do have some pre-submitted questions on VeVe Twitter that we've taken, and we will open it to other questions as well. And it seems like we have most of the team today. Trevor's here, Alex is here, David and Dan are here. So if anyone has any questions that are more specific to one of us, feel free to ask those whenever we get there. But without further ado, we might jump into some of these updates. People would love to know the status of the Immutable migration and interoperability and how we are looking there.
Yep, absolutely. So let me give you an update on that. So we were through the first phase, which was the registering all of the user accounts, and the second phase, as we published in the article that Reese put out, was minting the NFTs. We did hit a couple of roadblocks on that, which was it actually turned out in the end that that all of the reminting was going to take 5 to 6 days. At which point would have mean we would have had to take the market offline for that amount of time. So that was not something that was really acceptable. So our team had been working with the Immutable guys to work on optimizations on that, and they are almost at a finish. In fact, I would imagine by the end of this week, they will all be done. And they've done a great job basically getting that down from 5 or 6 days to 3 hours. So when that reminting happens, obviously as per normal, we'll put some information out there just to let you know that the market will be offline for maybe 3 or 4 hours while we go through that minting process. And then once we're through that, then it's basically onto the next step. But this is the wonderful world of development where everything goes right.
Yeah, I was about to say, on that 3 to 4 hours, I'm just going to go ahead now and say it may take longer than that. So if it does, everybody relax.
Let's have 30%
Let's assume it will. Yeah. I think if we
Yeah.
set that expectation, it will be a little bit easier to manage that. Okay, that's great news.
Yeah, and we do, and you know, whenever we do, just so the audience knows, whenever we do need to take the core features of the app offline like that, we generally try to do it where there's the lowest amount of traffic to you know, lessen the impact on everyone.
Yes, and if just in case anybody listening isn't in the announcement channel, either on Discord, on the VeVe Discord, or in the Acomi Telegram, I would join those. That's where we drop those kind of updates. Sometimes they go out last minute. Sometimes we give a fair bit of warning. So if you're not already in those announcement channels, I would suggest heading to them. Now, Dan, a few people have been waiting on a little bit of information for the Master Collector program. Do we have some time to run through this and explain some of the finer details?
We do, and I'm delighted to announce the Master Collector coming out in 2023. ... Joke. Oh wait, we just lost a whole lot of users. The scoping is coming together very well. So I thought today would just be a good opportunity for us to sort of run through in a little bit more detail about how it's going to work. And then we've got Alex and the rest of the marketing team are just putting some final touches into the document so we can start to share that with everyone. But
so for everybody who's wondering why that is not out yet, you can blame me. I blew that thing out. I'll take all your fun.
Yes.
Aim it towards me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. You can take that one. That'll be great.
All right. Right. Let's do it.
So now, as I think I've touched on this a little bit in the previous AMAs, but really, you know, the Master Collector program is designed and is there as a retention and reward system for our collectors. So, and it's kind of geared in a way that the more of a collector you are, the more you'll be able to benefit. And that's not to say that, you know, if you're a low-level Master Collector, you'll be discounted in any way. But the Master Collector program is about, you know, supporting those people who really are the true collectors out there. So there's a couple of ways that it works, and I think I touched on this last time, but I'll just cover it again. So there's going to be really two main parts to the Master Collector program. Number one is your Master Collector level, and number two is your Master Collector rank. With the leveling, you will basically score points or earn points for a whole range of activities within VeVe. And that includes two different categories, where category number one will be the one-off points that you'll earn, and category number two is recurring daily points that you'll earn. So to give you an example, a one-off point example would be a new user comes in and they fully complete the onboarding process. They go through all the tutorials, which are coming soon. and they get through all of that, boom, they're gonna receive some one-off points. If you purchase a collectible in the store or the market, you're going to get a one-off point for that. If you complete a set, you'll get some points for that in a one-off capacity. So the idea here is to, encourage users to use these kind of core features in the app, and for that you will get rewarded with a one-off points. The second part is the daily recurring. Now, for us, it's if you're a collector, and again, we're focusing very much on the collectors here, not necessarily the flippers. Sorry, guys. But you will basically receive daily recurring points based on a whole number of factors, which will be things like every collectible you own, you will receive points. Every completed set you hold, you will receive points. Every secret rare you hold, you will receive points. And the whole idea here is that each day you will basically start accruing these points, and then these points will go towards your master collector level. So very similar in gaming, you basically earn these points, and once you earn enough points to reach the next level, you will basically be leveled up. Now, the second part, one more thing to touch on is that your daily recurring points will be really based on activity. So if you don't, if you decide that, whatever, VeVe's not for you, and then after say 30 days or 60 days, there's no activity on your account, as in you're not logging in, you will stop receiving those daily points. And the reason for that is to make sure that we are rewarding those users who are still a very active part of the community, rather than those users who may have, fallen by the wayside. The second last point on the recurring points is that we will be doing everything we can to apply points retrospectively when we roll out the Master Collector program. So if you're an OG and you've been collecting, since way in January, then you effectively, we will calculate on our side, what you would have received daily from then all the way up to now, plus any of the one-off points. So that will immediately, advance you to a specific level, and you'll have a whole bunch of these points, which you can do things with, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, the second part of the Master Collector is the rank. And the whole idea with the rank here is that I believe we have 20 different ranks, from your very entry level right up to the very top rank, which is going to be called Master Collector, or I don't know, Grand Master, something like that. And you will basically sit somewhere in this ranking system based on your points, your activity, and a bunch of other factors. And the reason we put this in is to ensure that there is, always the opportunity for users to kind of move up or potentially down those ranks outside of your leveling system. Because if we just have the leveling system, people could effectively just infinitely level, and it would be very difficult for other users to sort of catch up or obtain those higher levels. So for that reason, we really thought the ranking system, works very well. So, I mean, you might end up being a low rank, but perhaps you could have a very high level, depending on your activity and what you purchased, or you could have a higher rank and a lesser level. So we'll be releasing some more information about that in the article. Now, as you continue to earn these level points, you will be able to do things with them. So you can effectively spend these points. They're not like gems or any form of currency, but you can use them within the app to do things such as we will have accessories that are available to be purchased with points. We will have, one of the features we'll be rolling out in the market is premium market listing. So, if you're a very active user in the market and you want to, use your points to have your listing show, higher up the list or to get more exposure, again, you'll be able to spend your points on that. We will also be introducing a drop lottery system where you, as a user who has earned points, can choose to wager those points in the drop lottery. And the way this will work is there will be a percentage of the editions available for the drop lottery. And then any user, a certain period of time before the drop, like let's just say it's going to be 24 hours, you will be able to start wagering to try to guarantee to get that collectible. So the way it'll work is that you'll open up the, whatever it is, the drop lottery system. You'll choose an upcoming drop. You'll choose the collectible that you want to wager against, and then you can then wager your points to try to get a guaranteed slot. And whether you win or lose that will be based on how much you wager against relative to the other participants.
Right.
And then 15 minutes or 30 minutes before the drop, the drop lottery will close, and users at that point will then get a notification in-app to say that you were successful. And if you were, then you can basically just go ahead and buy that collectible, or that collectible will be reserved for you at the time of the drop. So you just need to go in and buy it. If you choose not to buy it for whatever reason, then that collectible will simply just go back into the public pool. So again, the idea around the drop lottery here is to encourage and incentivize users to participate in the app so they can get these points, and then through that, they can have an advantage in the drop by wagering these points. And like I say, it's only going to be a percentage of the collectibles available. So it doesn't mean that no one else has any chance. Again, it's making sure that there is a system or an incentive reward-based system for those collectors who are really participating very strongly.
Awesome. Just on that, you mentioned that if you decide not to purchase that collectible, it would return to the public pool of collectibles. Would that user then lose the points that they wagered to secure the collectible, or?
Yes, you would. I mean, if you win, then those points are basically burned. And if you decide not to take it, then I mean, unfortunately, that's a decision you'll have to make. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, perfect. If someone would ask that, carry on.
We will also be introducing badges for certain achievements. So, whenever you, say, for example, complete your first set, or you complete your 10th set, you will get a really cool little badge that you can show on your profile. And then some of the achievement badges will also come in 3D. So, you can basically decorate your showrooms. Again, it's just another fleck. I walk into Reese's showroom and he's just got a wall of badges. I'm going to be, wow, this guy's serious. I'm not going to get a good deal out of this guy. So, and also whenever you achieve a new badge, or if you get a badge levels up, you will also score points for that as well. So the whole idea is, really to just encourage users to have these points, to earn these points in the system, and then they can, because of their participation in the app, they can then use those points to, whether it's just to gain, cool looking accessories or whatever for your showroom, or whether you want to use them to participate in the drops. And we will have other features rolling out in the future that you'll be able to, use points on. So say, for example, like in the VeVe birds, maybe you can buy more than likely non-branded accessories for your avatars. You'll be able to buy them with points as well. So it's just really a reward system. So, you're coming into our app, giving us your eyeballs, and we want to, return that favor by allowing you to earn and spend these points effectively.
Yeah. I think quite a majority of people would understand a similar system, from other gaming apps or badges and things, right? It should be relatively familiar. It's just as you say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, ultimately it really is just like a gamification leveling type system. And I've obviously been working with everyone in the team, from Trevor to Noah, Alex, you know, just to get some good input on these kind of gaming mechanics. So, and then lastly, we will be bringing out one more part of the MCP, which is called MCP Pro. And this will be a small amount of, this will offer, you'll pay a limited monthly subscription of a very small amount, and that will give you extra advantages. So say, for example, if you want to become an MCP Pro user, you might get extra percent points on all activity. Or you might get an exclusive content each month. We're looking into additional features like expanded functionality in the marketplace, like auto bidding or renting collectibles, or perhaps displaying the rarity and edition number next to the collectibles that you own. So I think we've got everything, you know, we've got a nice, well-rounded system that, you know, even if you come in at the beginning, you still have some advantage. If you are a power user, then this is going to give you the, you know, sort of the advantage that you want, as well as some extra features like the MCP Pro, which, you know, could potentially help early users coming in who really want to sort of boost their way up the levels. So yeah, very excited to get this article out. It's not a huge departure from, you know, what we started scoping out around a year ago. But as I mentioned on one of the other AMAs, we do have a lot of very valuable user feedback, and obviously we've polled you know, some key people in the community to make sure that we're, you know, sort of aligned with what our community wants. So once we put this article out, we'll, of course, as always, be looking forward to feedback and ideas. And yeah.
Fantastic. And just to give people a general timeline, because obviously the article coming out does not mean that the whole program goes live on VeVe. Do we have a rough sort of ETA for when people can expect the first rollout of the MCP in the app?
Yeah, well, didn't I say 2023?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Set expectations out.
So, yeah, as soon as the articles come out, we will be commencing development. I'm not going to commit to any timelines just yet, but obviously we know that everyone wants the MCP as fast as they can. And in the article, we have actually broken down a bit of a roadmap for exactly how we're going to roll out the master collector. There's obviously some functionality that we already have kind of built in place that is the low-hanging fruit. And then we'll basically roll the master collector out in various phases over the coming months.
All right, fantastic. That is sure to get some people talking. But that is only one of two articles that people are waiting for at the moment. So I may as well strike while the iron's hot. Any updates on the OMI utility article?
Yes, so that will also be released at the same time. And I can't actually remember if I touched on this too much last time, but so just to give everyone a quick overview, the utility will basically cover the following areas. So we will have a staking program. And you will, in order to basically unlock the OMI related features in the app, you will need to be in the staking program. And we have 3 tiers of staking, with each tier offering everything in the tier before it, plus a whole lot of other extra benefits. And some of those benefits are in line with the master collector as well. So, for example, you know, if you're staking at tier 2, you will also get you know, extra percentage points on all of your activity. In addition to that, as we've discussed previously, there will be secondary market trading with OMI. So you will be able to list your items in OMI, and then as long as you have OMI in your VeVe OMI wallet, you will then be able to buy and sell directly with OMI, which I know is something that the community is very much looking forward to. In addition to the Master Collector Drop Lottery, we will also have an OMI Drop Lottery. So these are going to run side by side. So, I mean, you know, if you're, and I'm sure all of these theories are going to come out, but you could almost double your chances by being an OMI staker and being able to participate in the OMI drop lottery, and then also use your points on the in the master collector drop lottery as well. And in addition to that, the other points that I mentioned in the master collector program, such as you know, premium market listings, accessory purchases, you'll be able to do all of these things with OMI as well, directly within the product. And of course, as I touched on briefly a few AMAs ago, will be the VeVeverse. So the primary use for OMI in the VeVeverse, as touched on, is #1, land. So obviously we're going to be rolling out land around these, you know, beautiful VeVe cities and such. And assuming you are buying the land off the primary market, i.e. off VeVe, then you will be able to use your OMI to buy that. And then that OMI will basically just be burnt straight out of circulation. In addition to that, within the VeVeverse, each person will have a home, and that home is basically like your showroom now, but kind of on steroids. And you will also be able to buy these homes with OMI, and that includes all of the accessories inside, whether it's, you know, updating the wallpaper or changing the floor or adding another level. And then lastly, with the VeVeverse, well, lastly for now, will be the avatars. So same deal, you'll be able to use OMI to purchase, you know, whether you want an epic avatar or, hey, mate, like we all do, we all want a t-shirt on our avatar just with David's hair on it. I'm sure that's going to go great. Yeah, exactly. And so there'll be some of this exclusive content for OMI holders as well. So the idea here is really to, you know, align these two programs, because they are both they both have a lot of similarities and crossovers. But we obviously want to make sure that you know, we are rewarding our OMI holder community, and we're rewarding our collector-based community. And obviously there's going to be people out there who are both of those things as well. And these two systems allow those people to take advantage of both of those. So yeah, that's just a basic overview. I won't go into too much more detail, because you guys will be able to read into it a little bit further as when we promote the articles out there. And then, yeah, of course, looking forward to the feedback.
Yeah,
nice. That is a lot, and it is awesome to hear. I think a lot of people are hopefully really excited. So there's a lot of us in the crowd here. I'm not sure if you realize, but we broke 2,000 in this space. So thank you all very much for joining. And, you know, if you like what you're hearing so far ahead of the articles, why don't you go ahead and give us a 100 emoji there in the crowd. Let's get those hundreds up. Yo, shout out emoji. All right. So awesome. This is really cool, because you know, obviously on Twitter, a lot of the questions that we got today are about MCP and OMI utility, as well as in the Discord. So I really appreciate everybody's patience. We just want to make sure that we get that right when it's published, so that we are answering all of the all of the anticipated questions correctly. So what do we got next, Reese?
Well, just after that, we might just take a breath, say a big welcome to the 2,000 plus people that have joined us. And if anyone is new to our community, the easiest places to find information outside of Twitter are the Akomi and VeVe blogs, which you can find at medium.com/Akomi and medium.com/VeVe-collectibles. So that's where all of our drop information goes, all of our new license partners, any app updates and pertinent information. So if you're not subscribed to those blogs, I would suggest heading over there. But now that we've done that, we will continue down this list. Gentlemen, people are obviously waiting for the gem to fiat cash out and MTL. Now, I think last time we said we were up to integrating with our banking partner. Is that still the case?
Yes, and I just had a notification come through yesterday that all of the, the two-way sync between us and the bank is all basically done and dusted. So very happy to have that phase over. So next week, we're just going to do some final testing on the platform. And then after that, we will be looking to begin inviting you in. Which would be very, very exciting. I think, one of the great things about this feature is, and, one of my hopes is that one day people can actually, make money off VeVe. You can quit that job that you don't like, and it's not financial or advice information, by the way. Thought I'd close it out. Just to cover my butt. But it's great. And people love to collect, love to buy and sell, and if you can actually earn something off that, if you're lucky enough, and I'm definitely not pointing at myself or anyone in the team for getting a secret rare in the comics. That can change people's circumstances. So very much looking forward to getting that out. And before we, actually over the next couple of weeks, we will be putting out an article which is just going to explain exactly how the GMC out works. As I discussed previously, obviously because we are dealing with banking institutions and finances and money, each user will have to KYC as they're going in. And once they've successfully passed KYC, then they will have the opportunity to withdraw. So all of these details we'll be putting out in an upcoming article.
For sure. And just to set a realistic expectation on that, I think we should just reiterate that it won't open to the entire user base day one. We'll start with these kind of smaller batch invites, and as those tests take place, we can continue to scale that up.
And I think you were saying earlier, Rich, that you're accepting bribes, right?
Absolutely. I always accept bribes. Contact me anytime. No, not today. I don't have access to that system. Please don't spam me with your bribes. Cool. So that's exciting. Hopefully, we put something out next week as well. It's going to be a big month, lads. It just keeps going.
Isn't every month?
Isn't every month, exactly. Okay, Showroom version 2. I know Trevor was in here before. I don't know if he has comment, but Dan, any updates?
Yes, so that's coming along very well. The actual Showroom V2 has been, I'll say 99% signed off. I think we were just making one or two small lighting adjustments yesterday. And I think I might have mentioned earlier, but if I didn't, we have, most of you now have probably seen the layout of the Showroom V2, where there's this beautiful balcony looking out over the clouds. And we have opened up a small part of that balcony that will allow you to walk out into the greatest kind of sky area. Because, to be honest, the Voltaholics just do some amazing stuff, and we don't want to limit that in any way. And the second part is which I think I've touched on, is the empty showroom or the empty space. Now, I think a lot of users are really going to find this, especially the Voltaholics. These amazingly creative people who, just build these epic constructs out of the VeVe collectible. You will now no longer have to, you won't have to work with inside that gallery showroom. You'll basically be given an empty.
Did we just lose Dan?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. So empty space where you can basically have a blank canvas, and then from within there you can create whatever beautiful constructs you want, whether it's a multi-room thing made out of James Bond posters, or whether that might be a digital diorama. Perhaps you want to have all of your DC heroes versus your Marvel heroes. And of course, when we can add accessories in as well, I'm very excited to see what people are going to come up with. I think there's just going to be some amazing 3D dioramas coming out of this new type of empty showroom. And of course, as we also had mentioned previously, if you do have an existing Showroom V1, you will, by all means, that will remain in your app. And any new showrooms that you create will be using the new version 2. It should be noted that if you do have a version 1 showroom, or if you have multiple version 1 showrooms and you do delete all of those showrooms, then that version 1 showroom will be gone. And whenever you create new ones, it'll only be version 2. And then lastly, there's just a few other features that we've added in there, such as, undo, redo. We know that sometimes you move stuff around and you're like, oh, damn, it actually looked way better the way it was. So we built in all of that sort of undo, redo stuff. And in terms of timing, we're very close on this. We just need to get these updates coming from Trevor, get it into a build. We'll be doing some testing next week. And then I'm dare I say it, I'm 99% certain it'll be coming out the week after.
Okay. Yep, it's your own funeral, mate.
Yeah. Put a
That's
nail in
great.
my coffin, man.
That's it. With the gap in the banister, is it an obvious gap or is it a secret hidden gap?
It's a secret hidden gap.
Okay.
We've got to have some hidden stuff in there, just
That's
so people can go and find little hide and seek kind of
Walk
thing.
into walls. How else do we find holes in the corners?
Exactly. Well, that was how the last ones were found.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, seeing as you've committed to that for next week, how's the web platform going? Because we haven't had an update on that for a while.
Yeah, web platform is also coming along well. Gee, boy, we've got a lot of irons in the fire, don't we? Now that I'm looking through them all, there's definitely stuff going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, web platform is great. We've basically finished up the majority of all of the actual pages and screens. We're now at the point where we're doing things like integrating, all of your OMI wallets, integrating all of the payment systems. And I think we're also working on the integration of the web showroom, which again, I'm also very excited about this too, because to be honest, massive credit and shout out to the Voltaholics who create what they do on mobile. It will obviously be significantly easier to use your showroom when it's on a desktop, because you'll be able to drag your items around with the mouse and just have better navigation kind of skills. So yeah, overall, pretty happy. We're definitely still on track of having the web platform out this year, early as possible, of course. But we need to make sure that we've got everything in place before we roll that out.
Yeah, and just on that, is the first iteration of the web platform, it's basically a mirror of the app, or will it have some standalone features as well?
It will effectively be a mirror of the app. I mean, it is the VeVe app, and there will now be 2 front ends essentially to that, which will be the mobile view, and in addition the web platform, and then later on we'll obviously have the VeVeverse. So there'll be a plethora of ways to experience VeVe.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think as we've all kind of expected, that will open up access to an even wider user base, which is great. The next thing on my list, and this is definitely something we want to make a point of, is preloading gems before a drop. Do you want to just remind people that they don't have to preload and why?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a 0 gem balance, or you don't have enough gems to secure the collectible that you want, just wanted to remind everyone that you don't actually need to open up your wallet. You can actually buy the gem like literally at the point of purchase. So I just want to put that out there, because as the drops become more competitive, and until the cash out feature, or the gem to fiat feature is in place, keep in mind that you can buy your gems at the point of purchase. So if you're worried about missing out on the drop and then having those gems sort of held within your wallet, by all means buy them at the point of purchase, and you'll have plenty of time in terms of the reservation countdown.
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough to get the comic this morning and did exactly that. I know. It's probably the first drop in 10, I think, that I've managed to nail. But did exactly that. I bought the gems in line, just waited for it. By the time I came back to confirm the purchase, I think I still had 60 or 70 seconds on the clock. Like, it all took place very quickly and seamlessly. So just something to be aware of for everybody out there. Okay, so We rolled out some app updates recently. Do you want to just touch on maybe some of the most recent updates and maybe anything that is in the works for the next few app features?
Yes, so I think there were, when was the last app update? I think it was last week sometime. And I've seen a lot of people commenting on Twitter, so I'm glad that that these features have been well accepted by the community, and they include things like adding the floor price when you're looking at a collectible either that you own or a collectible in the market, adding a market link on collectibles you own, so you can just jump straight into the market directly from the collectible you own. We added back in the last price you paid, so you can compare that, with the currently listed floor price. Oh gosh, I can't actually remember what else went in there.
Access the market listings directly from your collectible now?
Yep. Access market listings directly. Yeah, I'd actually have to go back and look at the release notes to see what else is now. But in terms of the upcoming market, sorry, not upcoming market, upcoming app release. We have done a revision on market comics because we all know that it's a little frustrating to use at the moment. And so the way it's going to work now is that when you go into the market comics section, you will have the option to basically list everything by just by comic. So you'll see the common cover of each comic. And then when you tap on one of those comics, it will take you to another screen that will then display all of the cover variants available for the comic and how many there are. And then when you tap on one of those comics, you will then come through to a screen that lists all of the available editions that are for sale. Now, on that last screen, we've made an update. So just because there are so many in the market now, rather than showing each comic individually in its own little collectible card, this will now be more like a vertical list, which will have the owner listed on the left, followed by the edition number, and then the price, just to make it a little bit easier to sort of navigate through those areas. And then in the future editions, as we get more comics coming into the platform, we will start to do things like add like a series boxes at the top. So for example, if you wanted to see all of the Amazing Spider-Man comics, you could tap on the Amazing Spider-Man series and start to and basically filter all of the available options by series. So hopefully that's going to make things a little bit easier. I'm sure there's going to be some valuable feedback from the community, but as everyone knows, we do always love to get the feedback and then implement these changes. The second major one I wanted to talk about is, as most of our existing users will know, we've already merged comics and collectibles in the collection section of the app, which is way easier. Don't know what I was thinking when I came up with that stupid drop-down bar, but at least it's gone from that section. And then in the next update, we're going to be merging everything, all comics and collectibles in the store as well. And in addition to that, comics will also show up in the latest drops, in the coming soon drop, just to get a little bit more exposure to those comics. Because right now it's a little bit hidden, unless you have to kind of change the switcher bar at the top. Some people can't find the comics. So again, just to really make it a lot easier for our fans and users to find the comics that they want.
Yeah, I think anything that helps people to navigate the app a little bit easier will be well received, and I know people have been calling for those sorting and filtering options for a while. So that will be a great update. Is there anything else in the pipeline that you have there?
Let's see. The only other note I've got here is, we obviously did, when we rolled out the notifications, there was a small issue where some people were receiving notifications that they shouldn't have. We've since fixed that, and now notifications are rolled back out in the app. So you should be getting all of those juicy notifications back when someone comments on your feed post or auction listing and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, while we're here, can we confirm that follow for follow posts in the feed do not count towards your master collector? Is there? Can we? Is that a thing?
Sorry, say that again.
The follow for follow posts that we see in the feed. I think for a while people have been posting those, assuming they would get MCP points.
Yes, no, I don't know where that came from. It seemed to erupt out of nowhere. But the Fs for F don't impact your master collector in any way.
Great. Hopefully that cools the jets on that a little bit. Now, that's all the dry stuff out of the way. Let's get to some fun stuff. We are going to DesignerCon. Pretty great to have David here today. David, do you want to just give people some background into DesignerCon, your history there, how we came to
Oh, yeah. I think we put out, number one, I'm a huge fan of the DesignerCon. It's been, an honor to be working with, the team at DesignerCon. It's been, they wanted to find a great partner who really understand how the collectible business and, being myself in the collectible industry for 25 years, we kind of sync in quite well. I think this year's DesignerCon is going to be running in the week of, I think, is it 14th, Alex?
November 12th to the 14th.
12th to the 14th. And great thing about this DesignerCon is that we have a great lineup of drops. And we have limited each designer to be dropping 1 to 2 items. If it's a 3D collectible, it'll be like 1. If it's, I think some of the artists might have 1 or 2 prints. We are making sure that we're not over, flooding or releasing everything. I think we're going to be trialing something a bit different. Throughout the day, there will be a drop each hour or every couple hours to ensure everyone take a break and have a chance to come in throughout the different timelines. We will be trying to cover some users down here in Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia. And the other great news is there will be all these DesignerCon products will be exclusives. Most of them will be exclusives. They will be dropping in the DesignerCon banner store. And some of our other artists, that already exist in VeVe, having their own store, will also get their own drops as part of their collection. We will have a physical stand appearance at DesignerCon this year. We will be doing some, I think, giveaways and running up towards the actual DesignerCon. I think we have managed to secure some VIP passes for our VeVe listener fan, and I think Alex is coming up. We will have some competition, some way, to have these double pass VIP ticket to be giving out to our fans. Physically,
absolutely. Just to jump in there quickly, we're working on the giveaway mechanism so that we can get everybody who is interested in coming the chance to enter to win those VIP passes to come, hang out with us at DCon in Anaheim, California. Those won't include travel or anything, so it's not like a big sweepstakes kind of fly you across the world any type thing. But if you're interested and you're somewhat local or you're willing to make a good drive, please stay tuned to our Twitter. We'll give all the details for how we're going to give away those passes.
We in our booth, I think we will be giving away hopefully some physical, either VeVe exclusive merchandise or some blind boxes that some of our vendors will be participating in. And what's more important is I do believe the gold and the silver chrome Grim Rabbit from Rome English will be displayed at the show. Okay, so it will be making the first appearance at the show just to show people what they look like, everything. We need to figure out a way so it doesn't get pinched. So yeah.
And then
Just don't
David,
check
just
the
make
back of my
sure
car.
you send me a pair of your white gloves when you
Yeah.
ship that to me.
Yes. So there's a set going now. I was speaking to our, our manufacturer. They are sending one out for the show. So that's exciting news. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna have drops. I think 3 days in a row. Dan, how many drops we reckon we'll have? About 3 or 4 drops per day, right?
Well, you seem to be adding another 3 or 4 per day every day. So I haven't actually. I've been too afraid to do a total tally at this stage.
Yeah.
But there's a
we-
lot of very, very cool stuff. And I think also just one thing I'd like to touch on is, David has obviously been a long time frequenter of DCon and is very much into the art space. If people don't know, Dave and Ron English are very good friends, have been friends for a long time. So it's going to be cool offering some really exclusive art pieces. And some of them are looking really nice. So it's going to be exciting and a little bit different.
Yeah, I think will be very, very cool. We're looking forward to it. I mean, just so everyone know, I think myself and Dan at the moment, we have no plan to be going. We will have, I believe, Reese could be. Yeah, Reese, you're making your way to Anaheim.
I shall make an appearance. Yes.
Yeah, I think Trevor's there, and I believe Noah. I think Alex will be there. So you'll be meeting the gang there. So hopefully everyone really enjoys it.
And I think
what we do.
I think we have a lot of our influencers coming over as well. Really unfortunate that you and I can't be there, Dave. But it's definitely going to be a VeVe party, that's for sure.
Definitely. Just give us the business credit card when you have a second.
Sorry,
And sorry, what we're doing in our stand, apart from the giveaway, is really try to do the meet and greet, the swap tray. People can swap meat there, and during the drop days, if you miss out, you can be trading with other people there as well. So hopefully it will be a great time, in LA. And after that, we got plenty of more shows coming. I mean, I think we got Halloween in the corner, we got Christmas, and in between all these time, we got a lot of other announcements coming, and I think people just need to stay put, in the next fortnight or so.
Absolutely. The we have announced 3 of the artists in that article, and I have just shared that on Twitter as well. Tristan Eaton, Tara McPherson, and Camille Rose Garcia. David, do you know these artists? Have you sort of met these guys at DesignerCon previously? Like, how did they come into our picture?
Well, Tristan is one of the OG. If anyone clicked Dunnies before, Tristan came up with this whole idea of the Dunny, and that was under the banner of Kit Robot, and with Frank. So we will be releasing his first ever new, he's launching a physical line, and VeVe is launching the digital version of it in a different colorway for DesignerCon. So it's basically a brand new figure, and we'll be covering a little bit of news on this one. So Tristan's extremely famous in the designer toy industry. Tara McPherson, I have met her quite a number of times. Once in Wellington, in New Zealand. She was here in a comic expo, and she was doing some teaching on art in Wellington. Met her. We went shopping with Ron in New York, basically for toys. So Tara's going to be bringing some of her earlier and more exclusive items to VeVe, and we're looking forward to that. And yeah, who was the last
Camille.
one that we announced?
Camille. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a collective of her work, but not really have met her as such. So someone, you know, very new into VeVe, and I'm hoping one day I will be able to meet. And we do have more artists that we haven't announced, and that will be in the coming, I think, in the coming weeks as well.
Okay, just a little breadcrumb there. So really, for anyone attending DesignerCon, you have a chance to pick up, say, Tristan's exclusive physical piece and try to get the digital counterpart on VeVe as well, which is a cool little perk for anyone who wants to attend. But I'm sure everybody will look forward to the rest of the artists that we plan to drop on the way there.
Yeah, and please do check out DesignerCon's website. There are rules in it. You know, I think with the COVID thing, they are only taking people who has been vaccinated or something.
Yes,
just
it's
check on
vaccination
the
or test, a negative test.
Okay.
Yeah, so just make sure you guys know that. And in the coming weeks, Alex will be running some competition. We will have few double pass VIP ticket, and I think the VIP ticket comes with a lot of other goodies. And apart from early entrance, the VIP nights, I believe the VIP pass gets you the Medicom beer bricks, 400 and 100%, things like that. There will be a lot of goodies anyway. And you will be meeting all these artists who designed the badges at the show as well.
Yeah, what is the badge thing for the show? I did see that.
Yeah, the VIP basically there's a, I'm not sure if they announced who designed the badge. You know, people love collecting these badges. You know, they have a alternative artwork on them. So we will be dropping, I think, a blind box series, something to do with DesignerCon, one of the OG. So the logo, the character, the mascot you see, it will be in 3D, and you will be able to purchase in a blind box drop. And I think there's 4 different versions from throughout the years that we picked for that we think it's quite nice to have in this collection. So yeah, that will be coming out as well.
Okay, amazing.
Just to confirm, because I do get this question a lot, you don't have to be in person at DCon to secure these drops. They're not geo targeted.
That's correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I really hope everyone really just have a good time, have some fun, you know, and meet up with our team for the first time. We tried to be in New York Comic Con this year, but you know, our partners didn't attend, so that plan's moved on. So now DesignerCon, but I'm sure there will be a lot more different cons will be in the coming years anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity to meet and greet some of the fam, and yeah, enjoy some exciting drops together, or cry together when we don't get them. But either one, it should be pretty fun. Now, lads, today is the VeVe 1-year birthday, which also means it is the end of season 2. Now, for anyone who is new to the community, David, do you want to just explain the seasons to people to start?
Yeah.
And sort of how you got there?
Now, you know, as a collector myself, you know, if I collect a lot of artwork, and I buy a lot of ROMs, including Banksy. Some stuff I buy at cheaper, some stuff I buy at high price. As you know, these prices, they do go up every single time. And what we really don't want people to feel when they first download the app and they go to the marketplace and they see a $40,000 comic, they get frightened because its price reach, you know, it's out of their reach. What we really wanted to ensure is that the collectibles divided into different seasons. So people who just came in, download the app yesterday, well, they go, wow, you know, that's crazy price. And then, but they feel a sense of that they can be part of something in the next cycle. So season 3, that's starting tomorrow. And we can talk a little bit about what's coming. Have we advertised what's coming in season 3, the first drop?
Yes, so we're doing the next series of Harley Quinn, Red, Black, and White on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's basically run in par with the DC fandom. So anyone who think DC has gone do their NFT with someone else, they haven't. So we will be continue to dropping DC, and we love DC as well. So it's not like we had a fight or anything. You saw a whole month of Marvel and never see DC again. But the whole point on this season is so. If you missed out season 1, season 2 collectible, and they're out of your reach, you can start on season 3. And the whole idea is you can complete those seasons. So there's multiple way of you to collect. People want to collect the whole set. People just want to collect character they love. People who want to collect entire season. I know guys out there have complete season 1. Now they have complete season 2. And moving on season 3, that you have a chance to own one of everything. And how we run these seasons is basically every 6 months. So 6 monthly, we will basically close it off and move into the new one. Yeah, I mean it's and hopefully everyone understand you don't have to own any of the OG first one. Just get things that it's in your budget. And participate, just have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on that note, actually, and one question we do get quite often, people would like to know if we plan on releasing, whether it's non-branded content or something with potentially unlimited mints, so that anyone new who can't participate in a drop or misses them consistently, might be able to at least play with the AR and drop something in the showroom. Have we got any content like that in the works?
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, we definitely did try this with Captain America. And by the way, I'm not sure if we have sent the message out. I mean, these Captain America, the commons and the uncommons. I believe, Dan, is that correct? That
Yes,
today will be the last day.
Yeah. Yes, Friday this week, US time.
They will be completely removed from our inventory. And just so that all the audience listening now gets it, is that you do have to understand the commons is one of the most, I keep telling Dan, is that it's one of the best posts. So far, the common is a little bit more rare than the actual rare, because the edition that we're going to be removing out. So, the play pattern in collectible is all about scarcity. A common could be scarce. It's just like the 1939 Marvel comic, when they first came out, they published and printed 880,000 of these. And now they're in the auction for like, $1 to $3 million, pending on the grading. So the Captain America common will be quite hard to get hold of. If you haven't completed your set, I do highly suggest. So we will be bringing a higher mint number, like Reese mentioned, so everyone have a chance, but we will be removing them. We are working out mechanisms to delete them, or right now we're going to be moving them off to one of the company wallets.
Always remember, stay alpha.
To immutable or migrated, we possibly will be just deleting those as from the total supply. So we will be staying true to what is out there by the users, the holders' hand.
Awesome. Possibly
baby burn.
Yeah, burn, baby burn. That's it. But it might be worth putting a feature in at some point where people can click to see which collectibles are still available in the store, as opposed to having to search through each series as well. So.
Yeah, we will be doing that in the update to the store when we merge comics and collectibles into the store. The content on the store landing page is going to change and basically show, new comics, collectibles, and then basically what's still available, which is often a very low number of collectibles.
Exactly right. It's more if we do start to increase the common mints, we may end up with some stock for once. So that might play to our favor. But okay, cool. That's about it on my main list. I just want to make people aware of a couple of community conversations coming up. So I think next week on the 20th, we'll be joining David Gockstein's community. Some of you may have seen him on Twitter. He's the CEO of Pack Protocol. but a big supporter of Omi and VeVe. So we have an AMA with their media company and community, and I would like to invite everybody from the community to come and join us there and to help us spread the word. A week later, we have an AMA in the DAP Radar Discord server as well. I think that one is 8 a.m. PT. It's more suited to a British time zone, I think. But if anyone would like to join me there, please feel free. And then I think a week after that, Dan will jump in with David himself for a bit of a podcast. David Gockstein, that is, not David Hughes. So a few community events coming up that we would love you all to be a part of. Obviously, we really appreciate the support when you show up for those as well. Same as today. But on that note, gents, have you got any other pertinent topics, or shall we open to some of these questions?
I think we're good to go on the AMA side.
Good to go. All right, fantastic. Thank you once again, everybody, for being here and joining us. Alex, you have been taking some pre-submitted questions. We may have covered some of them already in the first hour, but I'll leave it to you.
Indeed we did. A lot of the questions were covered at the top, but let me just kind of resort the list here and make sure that we get some people in here. So quickly on, I know I have a couple on MCP. So Smells Fun asks, will comics count towards sets? Will MCP reward long-term holds?
Yes to the second point. As I mentioned, if you are holding a set or holding a collectible, then you will get daily points for that. And comics, we don't have sets for comics, just for the reason being that, I mean, in some cases, it can be almost impossible to obtain a secret rare. So we felt it was a bit unfair to include sets with the comics. But effectively, anything that you can purchase within the VeVe primary market is what we determine a collectible, and that will contribute to your master collector level.
Great. So comics included, I think, was another question. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
And then further there, Greyhound Groot asks, if I own 3 Superman, does that count as 3 sets or 1? And for example, is there any cap per item for counting MCP sets, and will different rarities generate different MCP points per day?
On the second point, yes, it will, but it is reserved for secret rares. So if you have an uncommon, sorry, that's not going to give you any extra points, but you, of course, will still get points for owning that collectible. And if you have a secret rare, then yeah, you will get some bonus points for owning that. Sorry, Alex, what was the first part?
If I own 3 Supermen, does that count as 3 sets?
Yes, I believe it does. I will need to double check with the team on that one, but to me, it would make sense that yeah, if you have multiple sets of something, then yeah, you should be rewarded for that.
Great. Okay, I brought somebody up from to the stage who has another MCP related question. Omi-Wan Kenobi, what is up, my friend?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey,
Hey,
happy
man.
birthday. What's up to my people down there, too, man? I got up here, y'all. What up? I don't hit drops, but I got up here, baby. What? Hey, what the hell?
Almost ate us. Almost.
Hey, I'll see you at DCon for real. Hey, check it out, though. These sets, as far as MCP goes, because that's the reason why I wanted it to, like, I was hoping that we'd have, like, a more clear answer. But as far as sets goes, like, I want to start getting what I want to get. Like, I feel like I'm getting stuff like that maybe a lot of people might like, but I'm not into. So as far as, like, what if I just stopped getting sets right now and I just started getting what I wanted, as far as, like, let's say the Harley Quinn, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that likes the uncommon and the common more than the rare and ultra rare. So in that case, like, how bad is that going to affect, like, a person in my position?
A great question. I mean, ultimately, you know, we want to be rewarding people who are collecting and completing sets, because they are the, you know, very active users in the community. However, you will just get a like a daily bonus for having that set. So you will be getting extra points. But on the flip side of that, if you don't have completed sets and you just have a whole bunch of collectibles, then you are still earning points for those collectibles as well. And like I mentioned, if some of them are super rares, you'll be getting extra bonuses. And there's other things that you can do, like in-app activity, such as interacting on the feed, or sharing your content or participating in the market. These will all go towards your points as well. So, I mean, ultimately, someone who is collecting every collectible and has every set will be earning more points, but there are only, so many people out there who can do that.
Is there a certain criteria right now that you guys can say, like, oh, that guy or that gal is for sure, like, in the MCP program? Or, like, what do you guys, like, if it was to happen right now, like, what would you say as far as, like, the MCP program goes?
Yeah, well, basically everyone who is a registered user in VeVe is part of the MCP program. Where you are in that MCP program in terms of your level or rank comes down to a whole bunch of different factors that I outlined earlier.
Okay, and as far as, like, I know you spoke on you started off with, like, the bots, or the team started off with bots and whatnot. I'm a firm believer. Like, I'm sorry, like, I think there's a lot more than 1%, but at the same time, like, even if it was just 1%, like, that takes away, like, a chance or a couple chances that I have on drops. I'm not mad or any. How can I say it? It's disappointing, yeah, but I'm not mad because I believe in VeVe and I know where it's going. So I will go to the market as much as I can to get what I need to get in order to complete a set, but it's not fun. It really isn't. And when I have, and I got the whole family involved, and it's becoming. I don't want to. I'll speak for myself when I say, like, I'm neck deep into this investment. I think of you guys as an investment, so I invested into the collectibles and whatnot. I don't know anything about blockchain or anything like that. Do I want to learn it? I believe I will, but at the same time, like, I'm going into the market spending thousands of dollars, like, and I'm not forced to, but at the same time, like, if it's an investment, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do to secure it. So, what's your take on that as far as, like, a user like me?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's unfortunate that we have to deal with these bots. I mean, there are just nefarious actors out there who will try to, scam the whole community. But the reality is, like I mentioned earlier, is that the reason the drops are getting so much more difficult, and why the perception that there is significantly more bots, is because there are just thousands of new users coming in. Like I mentioned earlier, 45,000 odd people were going for Edo, of 1900 editions. So that level of competition, does impact your ability to participate in a drop. And we are, again, as I said, we have people within the company who are dedicated to ensuring that the drops are absolutely fair as possible and minimizing any of these sort of bot activities. And just one other thing I'll mention on that is that if you see an account with 0 collectibles, that does not mean by any means that it's a bot. It literally could be a new user that started today or yesterday or, a week ago who doesn't have anything. So I think there's a lot of information out there that has been skewed in a certain way because there's a certain perception that's being promoted at the moment. But for the most part, it's not accurate. But I am being honest with the community and saying that anyone, whether it's sneakers or VeVe collectibles or any music ticket companies, we have to deal with these bots, and that's just unfortunately just part of the course of having these popular products.
Right on. Hey, thank you very much, Obi-Wan Kaminobi, for coming up. I appreciate you. And so on that point, further to that point, we had another Twitter question, Dan from Ruxin asking, what is VeVe's current stance on multiple accounts and devices for drops? I've recently seen an influx of people openly using multiple phones during drop day, including popular streamers and Discord members. And I think that, you know, probably includes situations where you're getting the whole family involved.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is something that we have touched on previously. So, I mean, it is very difficult for us to know whether, you know, one person has multiple different devices and whether they have multiple different accounts. We have absolutely investigated options of, you know, restricting one account to one device, but ultimately it doesn't actually solve anything because people will just go and set up other accounts. And, you know, similar to the last question, you know, this is not something that is by all means unique to VeVe. I mean, anywhere that sells these limited edition items that have value, people are going to try to, you know, double their chances by using their device, their girlfriend's device, their grandma's device, and it's just part of the course.
Great. Okay. Let's see. We moving on here. This is a fun question. Ryan Yu asks, would you ever work with national agencies such as the National Park Services? I'd love to buy 3D replicas of Grand Canyon or El Capitan at the gift shop instead of a magnet or an animated Old Faithful that erupts at the exact time as the real one does.
That is a great idea. You know, I think as we communicated, our philosophy in VeVe is that everyone is a fan of something. And, you know, I guess our fans who have been with us for a while know that we have an ever-increasing range of collectibles. So I do appreciate the idea. Dave, you're the licensing man, so maybe time to give the National Parks a call.
Yeah, we will be announcing a new collectible line coming into VeVe. Something that our audience will probably never ever thought we will be doing. So, you know, I told Dan today, you know, to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, I have purposely aligned multiple of license agreement to be signed today. And this morning in New Zealand time, we have signed quite a few today. And then, you know, in the coming weeks, we'll be announcing them. But there's one particular line, I bet you guys, none of you will thought this organization will ever thought about doing digital collectible. It's pretty good.
Ooh, the juicy nuggets. Them juicy nuggets.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
What a tease, Dave.
I know. It is very, very, very special. And it will be the world first.
Nice.
Also, if we're gonna do national parks, can we stick to things that are like big rock faces as opposed to like geysers, because those VFX are gonna kill me.
I did see someone request Old Faithful, actually.
Yeah,
that's a very big geyser, which just sounds like a very big headache for me.
Yeah. The request was that it would erupt every 10 minutes alongside Old Faithful. So just, you know, put that in the back pocket.
Okay.
So you would, Trevor, you'd just rather like 400 collectibles as opposed to one big guy.
Visual effects are hard, you guys.
We have faith in you, Trevor. You can pull it off.
Trevor. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, David. Sorry.
Just for our audience, you know, season 3 is gonna be, it's gonna be very crazy. Just be ready,
lit, as the kids say.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right. Okay, moving on. We have another speaker on stage here. Let's move on to Teta.
Hey, how you doing? I did not expect to get pulled up, so thank you very much. This is my first AMA on Twitter. Appreciate it. Thank you. First and foremost, I wanted to ask, just echoing what my man Obi-Wan says, with regards to some of the sets, if we haven't collected them, personally, I think that there's certain collectibles that are basically commons or secret rares that mask as commons, like the Todd. will there be specific points allotted to certain things based on, I guess, their popularity or kind of rarity level or significance in comparison just like standard points? That's my first question.
Um, we did consider that internally, that maybe certain collectibles have different various points, but really it's not overly sustainable over a long period of time, and it gets very complicated. Like, I mean, we've got so many collectibles out already, even just in this first year, and I'm sure there's going to be equal, if not greater, amounts over 2022. So that's why we actually decided internally just to keep the system very simple. And basically, you get points for owning collectibles, points for owning sets, with the caveat that secret rares will give you some extra bonus.
Okay, thank you so much for that. My second question is with regards to Master Collector as well, and just engagement with the community. Again, shout out to Vaultaholics and everyone else that also creates vaults. Is it possible, or is it already being considered, that a part of that engagement would be the amount of people who has entered your vault? Because I think just to kind of give a pat on the back to the amount of people who put in so much time, it would really be a great metric to be able to add on to that form of engagement, considering how much people put in, and there's no real way to track how many people have seen your stuff if you haven't put it on Twitter.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the updates we have coming to showrooms is that when you are in your collection and you look at your showroom, you will be able to see how many likes you've had, how many views, or how many people have entered the showroom, and also how many comments. And that will go in some ways towards your master collector. But one of the things that we do need to be a bit careful of with activity like that is that, somebody could set up an auto clicker or whatever, and then just, visit their showroom through another account 5,000 times a day. So while there will be some rewards, they will be capped.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for clarifying. My last and final question. So I love the project. I love everything you guys are doing. But these 4 a.m. drops, because I just moved outside over from Jersey, is killing me. Will there be kind of adjusted times to be able to kind of make them? Because I think it's been about 3 weeks now, and I've woken up for every single drop, if not just stayed awake till 5 a.m. and then just carried on with the rest of the day.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Down here in New Zealand, it's the same. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. So where this becomes a little bit of a sticking point is that, we kind of need to revolve our drops around where the largest audiences are. For the reason being that if we were to put drops in times where only small parts of our audience exist, we're going to get a whole lot of complaints from that bigger part of the audience. So it is a little bit of a, we kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one. However, as David mentioned, over special events like DCon, we will have drops happening, right throughout the day and in time zones that are more pleasing to people who are outside your typical sort of US time zone. And then moving forward into the future, we will be starting to look to do like more regionalized drops as well.
Yeah, as we start moving into content that in different audience. I mean, we do have contents coming up in few weeks time that is probably most of the Western world doesn't know about because it comes from Asia. We have announced some French properties, so we could look at adjusting things into a different region for sure.
Great, thank you, Teta. Okay, going to move on to one or two more Twitter questions, and then we'll get to Ricky Singh after that. Player 1964 asks, can you add functionality that allows us to change our user ID names? And can we get exportable transaction files from our profile to facilitate tax and profit calculations?
There's no taxes on VeVe.
Might be on mute, gents.
Yeah. Dan, you on mute?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so just these are features that I'll probably need to run through with Dan.
Sorry, I lost the connection for a minute there, so I missed whatever the question was.
Oh, real quick. Can you add functionality to allow us to change our user ID names? And can we get exportable transaction files from our profiles to facilitate tax and profit calculations?
Might have happened again.
Yeah, Dan having issues here? Or
Sounds
you guys
like
hear
it.
me?
Sounds like it. I know that, and Dan might have something to add to this, but when it comes to changing the usernames on a whim, because each username is tied to a wallet address, I think there was some sort of difficulty there, or at least that was part of the reasoning in the early days as to why you could not change your username. So I think that was one of the restrictions, but Dan can probably add some color to that whenever he returns. And what was the other feature there?
Exportable transaction files. Yeah, I think we'll probably need Dan for both of those questions, but it's a good idea. Noah, can you keep an eye out for Dan when he pops back on, so I can keep moving to the queue here? Thank you. Let's go with Ricky Singh.
Hiya guys, I'm a big fan of VeVe and obviously all the work you're doing, so keep up the great work, and I look forward to season 3 now. So the question I had today was in regards to the 2D Secret Rare Ultraman poster that was released back in April as part of the whole gem deduction issue. The real life copy of it has the Marvel logo on it, so I just wanted to ask, would we potentially maybe see that coming onto that poster sometime in this sort of foreseeable future, or will obviously that just be it and there won't be the Marvel logo on it?
So I can answer that. We have reached out to a number of property. I think most people, how shall I say it? The licensing business is a very, very, and there's a lot of factors in it. With artists, the publishers, the property owners, the designer, and so on. We have reached out to a number of parties to see if we can get a consensus that everyone agrees that we could look at upgrading these. We haven't heard back from all the party that's involved. And obviously, few of the reason is it's all about the royalty payments, certain aspects, some property owners being paid for their initial drop. But if we want to include that, they need to be part of the whole program. So we're working through, and we understand, how collectible works. And, we do continue to upgrade our collectibles. But moving forward, something quite important is that we continue with all the licensors now. We try to integrate them in. You will see this with the Back to the Future hoverboard. We have Back to the Future, we have Mattel in it. So a lot of these new assets coming out, we are integrating a number of property owners. And you'll see more and more from the James Bond drops coming up. I think we'll have one more collectible that's coming out, in near future, and we are hoping to extend that line since it's been extremely popular. So to your question is we always constantly work with property right holders to explore these opportunities.
All right, thank you, Ricky.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and move on to, actually, while I have you, David, I have a question for you from Twitter. VeVe Forever asks, I was curious which comic is your favorite as a fan? Which one of the ones that have dropped on VeVe is your favorite?
I really like Deadpool, but obviously my heart is Marvel #1, the actual 39. Just simply because I never had an opportunity to read inside, and VeVe really allowed me, to read it whenever I want and see the graphic, everything. But Deadpool, Fantastic Four, I mean, I don't have one particular favorite. I mean, everything I own, everything I buy in VeVe, I love it. I'm a hoarder, beyond just collector. I like to have multiple. And most of these comments, by the way, even the comments, I have multiple copies of it. I don't know why, but I just feel like I have to have it. Later on I might trade, and recently people have asked me to trade comments around for reading purpose as well. Yeah, but Deadpool is pretty cool, and I have met Rob Liefeld quite a few times. He's the creator and writer for Deadpool. Just amazing. The team at Marvel is just amazing, and hopefully, one day we'll be bringing some of other universe comics into VeVe as well. We are not just going to be it's not just Marvel exclusive. Having comic, we are working with other publishers, so people should know.
Excellent, good to hear. I know a lot of people were curious about that. Thank you, David. I'm going to bring up now Foster. I know Dan's having some trouble getting back on, so know in case you see him in the queue. I don't.
Yeah.
Let me know.
He's doing the old phone off and on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
May rejoin
because that may hinder our ability to answer some of these questions. But David's here, so we'll hopefully tackle everything. Foster, what's up?
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me up, and congratulations on the 1 year in the biz. That's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's nice to be up here talking. I attend all of them, but usually I like to sit in the background. But I figured today we'll throw our hat in the ring. So gonna have to switch up the questions here a little bit because they were mostly directed to Dan. But we'll throw one out quick, waiting for him to reconnect, and it's for David. He did an AMA a few weeks back, which was translated, so it may have been taken out of context, but several content creators have done videos on it to cover the topics, and some really great questions were asked of David. And one of them, David's response was in relation to the future of the app and the growth being not just specific to collectibles, but branching into the VeVe-verse being more of an aspect. I was wondering, David, if you could elaborate at all as to what the vision that you have is for the app, and whether, because I mean, obviously a lot of people right now are frustrated if they can't get collectibles or whatever the case may be. Maybe what are your thoughts on some of the engagement methods that will be outside of owning the collectibles that will keep people coming back to the app?
Yeah, I mean, what we talked about in that addressing the Asian audience was that they asked, I think the context of the question was, what else will be coming in? And I think Dan covered quite a bit in the VeVe-verse. And what we envision, coming up in your showroom is that you will want to have pedestals, you will want to have furniture to put things up, and shelves for your collectible to sit on. And, there will be immersed, you can imagine there will be major brands out there. I'm not going to say any, I'm just giving an example. There'd be brands, fashion brands out there. There could be a furniture retail store wants to really be immersed in part of this whole, metaverse and the fandom. And, we have thought carefully, when we start this metaverse side, VeVe-verse, what other things apart from owning everything is unlimited edition print, things out there which we talked about? Would it be a larger run edition? It will be almost like a common, anyone come in can start buying these to decorate in their house. But we also want to make sure that there are some collectability in it. So do we mix with fashion brands in? My job, apart from doing multiple things, a key part of my day to day is to sit down with licensors. And we talk about licensor, we it's not just really superhero or movie brands. We're talking about, brands that you relate to every day. What do you see in your supermarket? What do you see at Walmart or Target or the supermarket? what do we do to bring these brands in that people know of? But they're not going to be a collectible. They're basically just brands that you love and you think, hey, you know, my VeVe Fizz at my home, when I do have a fridge, I really should have these filled it up with these products in it. And possibly that is a full collectible. Someone will sell a whole fridge one day with everything inside. I envision the VeVe Fizz. I mean, myself and Dan is similar. You know, if I can put it into word, it will be almost like games that we play as a kid. You know, SimCity, and then one of my favorite games, Monopoly. You put all these games together. What do you get? You know, you get really unlimited ways for people to innovate and live immersively. So. Yeah, I really do believe that the fashion brands is going to be coming in, and brands that you know of every day. You know, it could be car brands, it could be, you know, something that you grab, you drink. You know, it's a drinking company. You know, there'll be a lot out there that we'll be bringing in to this.
David, I absolutely love to hear you speak on this project, and I try and emphasize it to all the people that I speak to in the community regularly. Like, it really shows that you are a collector first and someone who is passionate about the project. And I mean, for anyone that's listening right now or listening back afterwards, like, if you don't think that the project's going to succeed after listening to David speak about it, then I think you need to reevaluate your priorities. But with that being said, I do see Dan here, and I don't want to take up too much more time. So I do have one more thing that I wanted to touch on, and maybe Trevor could also touch on it as well, because I have to be the balance and that other guy as well. So I know a lot of people have expressed frustrations about the amount of collectibles versus the amount of users that we currently have on the app. I think Dan at the beginning did a fantastic job of addressing the concerns with bots and really illustrating the percentages that we may actually be facing. Like he said, 56,000 people sitting on the app for 1,900 collectibles. You do the math, and 1 out of 30 is not a great shot, but it is a shot. And I think people need to adjust their expectations accordingly. However, with that being said, I know Trevor put out a tweet the other day, and you guys were looking at exploring different drop systems, which may not only combat bots and emulators, but also combat any network or latency issues that you were having with the AWS servers, or even, as an example, like Reese said earlier, people that have potato phones. So do you have any thoughts on, and I know that you have a system right now that you feel as though is effective, and I'm not even saying it in relation to bots, but just in general, have you thought about, implementing a lottery system or something to that effect to switch things up?
Hey guys, sorry, I had some internet issues there. But yeah, can you guys hear me all right? Yep, cool. We are always looking into new forms of drops. Obviously we've tried the blind box, we've got the traditional drops, and, really as the company grows and expands and we do get more users in, we are going to have to continue evolving our drop system. And that's going to start off with things like, drop lottery. And, I'm still toying with the waiting room idea. I mean, I know it works very well, and it's I guess it's perceived to be more fair, even though it's still completely random. But the trade-off with that is it kind of loses a little bit of the exhilaration that people have around the drop.
You lose that pump.
Yeah, TLDR, we're always looking to look at new ways that we can improve the drop mechanics.
Can I also add, like, speaking, because I know I talked with Dan a lot when we were coming up with when we were talking about a lot of the lottery systems. One of the things we were talking about almost like the wagering of what you earn hopefully acts as effectively an auto balancing, because ultimately if it's weighted about how much you wager, so you have this currency that currency is the wrong word, it's a soft currency, it's not a paid currency that you're wagering to increase your chances of the drop in that lottery. But since you can effectively only earn so much based off your how much you've collected, you can only earn so much currency a week. The gamification of that is effectively, if you have a drop that you're really excited on and you want to get that lottery chance, you can pour more into it, but it means it gets a little harder on a later drop because you won't have the currency to put back into it for the later one. So hopefully that becomes a strong both auto balancing system to help with that and make the lottery feel even more fair. It also combats a lot of the it like having multiple people bet like wager into the lottery version of the drop doesn't work because you're splitting that currency. It's weighted by how much of the soft currency you had. Similarly, bots, if they're just if for the few bots that there are, they're usually just like, if they were getting the drop, they're just handing it off to someone else, so they're not going to have currency to be able to wager in that. So I think that system, I'm excited that I think it's also just fun to participate in, but I think it can help solve a lot of these problems. Obviously, it'll introduce new ones, and we can continue to adapt it and improve it as it goes along, just like everything else. But I think from a game design perspective, it's a really interesting and exciting feature that we're planning on adding.
Great. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Foster. Let's move on to the Audible Collective.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Very well.
Big fans of your guys. Been having fun the last week since you guys came around, so I'm thankful for that. I had a question about the VeVeverse. I'm a musician, and I was wondering if I wanted to throw a concert or a party in the VeVeverse, is that something you can do? Or maybe, you know, if VeVe wanted to sell my music as an NFT, I wouldn't be sad. Is there a way to sell your own stuff or monetize in the VeVeverse?
Yep, let me tackle that one. Great question. So really one of the core principles behind the new the home, which like I say is a very much an extended version of the showroom. We really want to allow people to be able to have their own space there to be able to do what they want. And because there's going to be a whole lot of multiplayer features and multi-user features, you will effectively be able to send out an invite and have, you know, however many people come back to your home, and then from within your home, you will be able to do things like stream video and a whole lot of other cool features like that. When it comes to really selling anything, my personal view is I would love for us to evolve towards a platform where people can sell their own stuff. Like, for example, you know, maybe you can design your own t-shirt for avatars, and if it's cool and other people want it, and of course if it's non-IP,
thank you for
then
subscribing,
you can
man.
sell that to other people. You know, I think having some form of economy in the VeVeverse is very important. So and that kind of goes a little bit towards what you were saying about the music as well. One of the things we do need to tackle on our side is, you know, anything that we sell through VeVe, obviously there's some form of licensing agreement, just to make sure, you know, everyone's kind of covered there, even if you're just you know, someone who makes your own music and you want to sell it. But that is something we are looking into for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Audible. Let's move on to, looks like we're still getting waiting to connect for the next speaker. Let me move on to Twitter real quick while Whisker Biscuit is connecting. Vanty T asks, I recently bought a tablet to enjoy the comics, but I was disappointed that the app is not optimized for larger screens on either Android or iOS. As comics are a big part of the platform, can we expect an app compatible with tablets in the near future?
I would love for that to happen as well. It's definitely not on the 2021 roadmap. I'm sorry, but yeah, it is. I'm pretty certain that when you are in the App Store, it does say quite clearly that it is only available on phone device at the moment. And then when we bring out the web platform, that's obviously going to be a much bigger screen for people to read off. But I do appreciate that, yeah, tablets are very good for things like the showroom or like reading comics. So hopefully we can start to address that in 2022.
Great. Just if I can just dive in there on the comic question. I know we have a tilt feature in development to read the comics in AR in bed, you know, effectively. How is that coming along then?
It is in development. It's getting there. We've got a few priorities. Everything's a priority in VeVe, so it's whatever's screaming the loudest.
Whenever they come up. Yeah, fair enough.
All right. And apologies to Whisker Biscuit, couldn't connect there for some reason, so I'll try to get you back up. But let's move on to Enemy Fuzzball.
Hey, what's up, guys? First off, thanks for having me up. Happy first year anniversary. Big stuff, so super exciting. And so you actually just touched on my question, and that was the comics and the vaults and an AR. So that is still for sure in the works?
Yep, definitely in the works.
Okay, perfect. And then I think Trevor also touched on this a little bit too, but when it comes to the wagers and the lottery systems, so there will be something in place to keep whales from, I guess, getting everything then, correct?
Yeah, there will be. The drop lottery system will basically be using only the points that you've got. So you can anticipate that if you are an OG and you've been around for a while, when the MCP rolls out, you will end up with a bunch of points that you can spend. However, obviously we do a lot of drops. And then the second way that we'll combat that is it is only going to be a percentage of the drops as well. So, you know, just to reiterate what I said earlier on, it very much is around rewarding, you know, those users who heavily participate in the app. But obviously, you know, we have built-in measures and balances to make sure that that doesn't exclude other people completely.
Yeah, and I might just add to that obviously the OMI token side of the drop lottery is burning tokens directly from circulation when people commit that to the lottery or to the bid. So obviously those any of those transactions are going to benefit token holders long term, as well as we're really reducing that supply. Yeah. Anything else while you're here, Mr. Fuzzball?
Oh, sorry, I already moved on. Sorry, I'm trying to cycle through people. I'm trying to get through as many people as we can, because people get upset if we don't get to them. And I know we have over 50 in the queue, and we've already been on for 2 hours. So, David and Dan, can you just give us a temperature check of how many more questions we can get to, and then I can prioritize accordingly?
I do have to be off because I do have a decom call coming up at 3 minutes, which, but, you know, I want to thank everyone here for, you know, celebrating this important day for us. You know, myself and Dan could not be any more humble, and thank you all for the support. It's been hell of a year, and, you know, looking for season 3 coming. Rest assured you all, you know, we got a lot of love and a lot of cool things coming.
Season 3 gonna get crazy.
Thank you so much for dropping by, David. Dan, do you got time for like 2 more? Because I think I want to re-ask the question that you didn't get to when you dropped, but then I also have somebody on stage.
Yeah, sure. I can probably do another 5 minutes or so. I do have another meeting coming up as well.
Perfect. Yeah, same here.
So it's coming to a wrap.
Let's move back to the question from player 1964. Can you add functionality to allow us to change our user ID names? And can we get, this is the part that we didn't answer, exportable transaction files from our profile to facilitate tax and profit calculations?
Yes, that is something that has come up in the past. So let me go back and just see where exactly I got to with that. I do appreciate that. Obviously, as our collections get more valuable, or we're spending more money on it, that people do want to get some clarity over the sort of the financial investment. And obviously, the reason we haven't got that in place right now is that it's been a hell of a year. But I will revisit that and just see exactly where we're at with it.
Great, thank you so much. All right, let's move
there was
on
a
to
part 1 to that, was there not, Alex? Sorry.
Say that again.
Was there the part 1 to that?
Part 1 was. I think we kind of answered it, but you answered it, didn't you? The changing username.
Yeah. I just want to confirm. Yeah, more than anything. Okay. Dan, will users be able to change their username?
I'm gonna do an overview, guys. Once they're done, I think they'll be done in 5 minutes.
Because of the wallet.
Yeah, so the reason that we haven't allowed users to change their username up till now is because obviously we need to be very cognizant of are people out there who are scamming other users. Back in the early days, there were a lot of people coming into the app and scamming, and obviously we put a lot of, protective measures in for our users now. But if someone is able to, constantly change their name, like let's say you're a known, I don't know, whatever, known bad guy, and then you change your name and you can continuously change it over time, it does introduce a little bit of risk to our users. So that's the main reason that I haven't allowed that yet. However, we do get requests for people who want to change their username, and then you can do that by just simply logging a support ticket with the support team. They will need to go through, some steps of verification just so they know you are who you say you are, and they'll be able to change that for you.
Excellent. Okay, let's do one last question from the stage. Callie, Crypto Dude, before we wrap it up. Thank you very much. And sorry to everybody waiting in the queue, but we got to move on.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on. Happy 1 year. Been a part of the VeVe fam since April. Love everything. So my question is for DCon specifically. So I live out here in California. Been to a couple events at the convention center, and I know that the connection for the phones and stuff aren't really that great. Knowing that there are going to be drops throughout the event and being at the event, would VeVe entertain the idea of having some type of hotspot or something at your booth?
Yeah. We have sponsored the whole entire Wi-Fi network in the center for the weekend.
Oh, there you go. Solid.
Nice.
Yeah. Is
it
was
very expensive. And there will there'd be instructions on it. It will be basically the VeVe Wi-Fi at the Anaheim Center.
Awesome. And we're the only ones that have access to that, right? Only VeVe fam?
Should be it.
Awesome. I don't think so. It's basically anyone in the DCon can have access to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll find the VeVe fam because they'll all be trying to plug into the router somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I'll bring my adapter.
Bring your adapter. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys over there. Love what you guys are doing. Keep it up.
All right, appreciate you. All right, so with that, it's just after 5. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this first anniversary celebration community AMA. I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody in the queue. We had a lot of updates today at the top, so that took up a good chunk of time. We will be putting out the Twitter recap per usual, just making sure we're touching on all of the main points in case you joined late, or if some of the questions that maybe kind of went a little fast, we'll make sure to document those for you. Reese, Dan, David, any last words, or Trevor for that matter?
Yeah, from me especially, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody for constantly showing up and all their participation. I've gotten to know quite a few of you over the last 12 months and some of you over the last 4 years, but it's been an insanely exciting year, and yeah, just from me in particular, I just want to say a big thanks for all the support and all the help that everybody provides me in the community.
Yeah, and I'd love to second that as well. Obviously, VeVe wouldn't be what it is today without its community. So, like I said at the top of the call, just really appreciate everyone's support and faith as we sort of grow. Obviously, people have been here for our growing pains. But there's a lot of positive stuff that's come out of this year as well, and I think the product has really evolved in part with our community and all the feedback. So here's looking forward to an exciting second birthday. Who knows what's going to happen then?
Trevor coming out of a birthday cake, I think, is the next thing we need, right?
When Trevor.
When Trevor out of birthday cake.
All right, everybody.
Dude,
David, any last words? Or I think you got to jump on a call, right?
Yeah, I'm about to start my meeting. I just wanted to thank everyone again, and looking forward to this new exciting new year coming up. Just please do give us some chance to fix the things we need to, and we'll be back with you soon.
Great. And I've only been here since June, but I feel like obviously part of the entire the family within VeVe, and then part of the community as well. I really appreciate everybody who comes on these things. Every time we have one, and holds Twitter Spaces on their own, involved in the Discord. Also, special shout out to our mods on Discord. They are super involved in the community, and they're just really there to help. They're not employees of VeVe. They are doing this out of the kindness of their hearts, and they're there to make a nice, safe space for everybody to discuss collectibles and OMI or whatever else. So please shout them out. We love them. Granola, Geomite, all the rest of everybody who is in there on the language-specific channels. We really appreciate you, mods, and please, be nice to them. All right.
I'll second that.
All right, everybody. I think that's it.
Geomite's awesome.
Appreciate you joining, and we'll take care, or you take care rather, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
All right, guys. So the VeVe AMA came to a wrap. Let me turn on my camera. I hope it didn't die. I just have my camera running. Okay, cool. So pretty cool. Happy 1 year to VeVe. Okay, so VeVe, I'll say, is no longer in the baby stages. It's actually crawling right now, if anything. So, guys, it's been a long road for VeVe, and I know some of you guys have made money flipping. You guys hold a lot of sets, made money with OMI token. So either way, big accomplishments for VeVe from where it has started from, right? So let's get into this, guys. Let's get into the overview for what happened today on the AMA. For everyone right now that is just tuning in, guys, welcome to the Stay in Alpha channel. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscription, ring that bell, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So let's get into it. So what we have right now with the AMA, guys, I took some notes as the AMA was wrapping up. Let's go to the Chrome screen. Let me zoom in over here, as we have a lot of information to cover. Okay, and I usually don't do these AMAs, so I know some of you guys are probably surprised, like, what, Alpha's covering this instead of just a drop? But yeah, I decided to cover this because it's VeVe's first year. So let's start with, right, the bots. They said that they have fought against bots and that they have cut off bots by 99%, and that there is still 1% of bots out there, and there's people always trying to find new ways to beat the system. However, they have a team set up just for the bots, okay, and they're constantly looking into it, and they're doing their best that they can. All right, as I know, though, from my sources, is that emulators, like the one that I showed you guys, it has completely stopped now, and that got banned. So pretty sure that they're actually working on it, and they are paying attention, right? They're looking. Trust me, they are looking. Also, Reese touched up on older model phones. You know, he said, if you basically have a flip phone, it's time for you to upgrade. Simple as that. So if you have an iPhone 6, 7, 8, guys, I mean, and it's kind of slow, the processor now has gotten way better, then it's time for you to actually go ahead and start upgrading, right? Up next, Wi-Fi issues. Some users out there on VeVe are having Wi-Fi issues. And if you're having Wi-Fi issues and your VeVe app is just not working with your Wi-Fi, do a service ticket, and that service ticket will get prioritized. Okay, so that's going to get prioritized. Franlations, I'm going to come clean. They killed it. Wasn't expecting so many amazing updates. So the Wi-Fi issues will be prioritized, okay? Up next is customer support. They're trying to work for they're trying to upgrade their customer support system for different time zones, as VeVe's really just worldwide. So they're working on customer support. I know some of you guys have reached out to me that, hey man, I try to talk to someone. It's impossible to get in touch with someone from VeVe. It sucks horrible. So they're working on it. VeVe is a platform, guys, that has grown tremendously. They have exploded. They're taking DECA and tests and whatever HGH they could, because they have exploded. So just understand, when it comes down to customer support, I know that some of you guys are suffering with your problems, and it's, whatever issue it is that you're going through, like market restriction is hindering you from the marketplace, for example. They're working on it. So just go ahead and submit a service ticket. But with time, the customer support should be in different time zones and should be working a lot more effectively. I'm just going over the little basics. Nothing yet, no exciting part. We're coming to that now. Also on OpenSeas, they didn't say what collectibles will be available to make on OpenSeas. However, they will have to do a reminting process. And whenever that reminting process comes to be, the marketplace will shut down for approximately 3 hours, but it could be shut down for longer. But for now, they estimated 3 hours. One thing about Ecomi, guys, is that they should under-promise and over-deliver and stop trying to meet deadlines all the time. So this is the juicy stuff. This stuff up next, guys, is some good stuff that I actually heard. So if you're a flipper like me, this is some great stuff, regardless. I mean, it's time for you to probably start building up your sets and your collections, especially with season 3. They said it's going to get crazy, right? With the Master Collector rolling in, let's see when it does roll in. But let's go over this. So the Master Collector, there's going to be 2 different parts to the Master Collector program. You're going to have Master Collector ranking and you're going to have Master Collector level. So let's talk about the ranks. When a new user comes into VeVe, there's going to be tutorials that if they complete, okay, they get rewarded for in rankings. Also, other things that they could do like buying and selling in the marketplace as well will increase their ranking. So they're going to have simple things like that for new users. Now, when it comes down to the level, guys, there's going to be daily recurring points, okay? So if you're not active and you've been away from VeVe for the past 30 days, the past week, you're not accumulating points. But just for going to the VeVe app, which I suppose, and just being active, like putting a post out there, then you should be getting rewarded, okay, with points for just being active in the community, in the VeVe community. And what is the VeVe community? The post, right? So I'm thinking that's the way to earn points. However, a follow for follow does not earn you points. I believe that was said earlier, that if you have friends on VeVe that you get points, but I guess you don't. So don't worry about the whole follow for follow and having 100, 1,000, a million friends on VeVe. It doesn't get you points. Okay, they just confirmed it. Also, every collectible you own, you're going to receive points. The secret rare, however, you're going to receive bonus points. So whatever secret rare it is that you hold, you will earn bonus points for the secret rare. Sets will give you points. Each day that you're on the app will give you points. These points will go to your Master Collector level. And what is best, if you're a VeVe OG like me, like you, then there will be points that will be retro. So some points will be retroed. Okay, I mean, all points will be retro for all the OG VeVe users that are out there, guys. So if you've been on with VeVe since day 1 when they first launched, you're going to get points that are retroed. So that's amazing news because it puts all of us OGs in the front line. Why are these points important? Why are these points important? It's because we're going to be able to wager these points. What do you mean? By wagering the points, guys, whenever a drop comes to be, if you're an OG or if you hold a lot of sets, right, then you're going to have a lot of points. And you can wager these points for a certain drop. And let's say you put, I don't know, 1,500 points out there. I don't know how the point system is going to work, but if you put 1,500 points out there and you beat everyone else that waged, right, or you meet that total amount of users that waged, then you're in there for the collectible. If you didn't wage enough points, you will not have access to that collectible. And these will apply to like early drops. It's still not clear, but that's the way it's going to work. Points will also, guys, let you buy into accessories, jump higher on the ranking list, and much more. So if you have a lower ranking and you want to increase your ranking, these points should let you rank up even higher. As well, there's going to be a drop lottery. The drop lottery will be available as well as you can use points toward these lotteries as well. Okay, that's what I just explained. So the drop lotteries, you're going to wager your points. Okay, and if you put a lot of points out there because you really want Mr. Potato Head, okay, collectible, and you wager all the points that you have, right? You said, I'm going to go ahead and YOLO into Mr. Potato Head, then you might just get that collectible and be eligible for the drop. However, if you don't buy the drop, if you don't buy that collectible will go back into the queue system. These points will go to your Master Collector level. Okay, I read that part. You can wager your points to get a collectible on an upcoming drop. Okay, so that's happening. Along with that, there will be badges. And the badges are with the ranking system. So as you level up, your badges will be changing, will get updated every time that you keep leveling up. So it's pretty cool because people are going to want your badge, right? Your badge is going to be kind of like a show off, like a flex, You know, you have the golden badge with the VeVe diamond head embroidered or something. So that's the good thing about that. Then they have the Master Collector Pro program that will be hitting, which I found this to be very interesting. And with this, you're going to be paying a limited monthly subscription. They didn't say that it's going to be something expensive. They said something that's going to be affordable. It's going to be a limited monthly subscription. And the Master Collector Pro will get extra points on activities and also exclusive content. Okay, so besides the ranking, besides the level with the points, wagering on lotteries, there's going to be a monthly subscription for the Master Collector Pro program. Program Pro. The Master Collector Program Pro. MCP. That's what they called it. All right. We'll get extra points on activities and exclusive content. Pretty cool stuff that is going on. Now, the ETA, no timeline as of yet. I think this is a good thing. We will be seeing this by the end of the year, which is what they hoped for. Okay, so hopefully by the end of the year is when we'll be seeing some of this stuff start to roll out. Omi Utility article up next. Jerry K, you break this down very nicely. I think you're being sarcastic, but appreciate you if you're being on the real. So the Omi Utility article, selling in Omi, that's going to happen. Okay, you're going to be able to put a collectible out there and actually sell it for Omi. So I don't want your gems, pay me in Omi. Next thing you know, guys, you're just ranking up on Omi tokens. That's awesome. So again, you're able to sell in Omi. So what does that mean? You're able to buy in Omi. Then the staking, they spoke about staking as well with Omi. That's going to be a feature that's going to happen. They didn't touch up on staking, but on previous AMAs, they have stated that with staking Omi, for example, if you have 1 million tokens of Omi, of the Omi token, then your DeLorean will be drivable. So things like that is what we're going to see. But it gets better. Hold up. It gets better. What? It gets better. Time for everyone to wake up. The AMA is over with. Time for you to wake up and smash that like button. So there's going to be drop lotteries, right? Where you can wager your points, but also there's going to be drop lotteries on Omi. So you could actually spend your Omi out there for these drop lotteries. I mean, it sounds pretty risky. Big risk, big reward. That is completely up to you. Very interesting how this will play out and work out. Up next is the VeVe-verse. VeVe lands. This is what I want, guys. VeVe lands. This is what I want. If you own a VeVe land, forget these collectibles. If you own the VeVe land, man, I'm not selling that. And you guys know I'm a flipper. I will not sell that because that's going to be major. So you're going to be able, guys, to buy land off the primary market. We'll be able to use your Omi to buy primary land. So if you're one of the ones that you're able to buy the VeVe lands, you're able to buy with Omi as well. Within the VeVe-verse, each person will have a home. What does that mean? This is good news because if you have a home, guys, that means that's where your showcase is at. And as well, you're able to deck out your home. You could change the wallpaper, you could add another floor, and probably just expand your home. So this is great news. And as well, you're able to buy another home if you want to. So that's cool. People will come to your home, come to your space, and you know what? It's like a real estate metaverse type stuff, but on the VeVe-verse. That's what it's called. So it's pretty cool. Avatars will be coming, and I'm guessing each of us will have an avatar, and this is strictly for the VeVe-verse. And also, guys, you're going to be able to upgrade the clothes, the shirts, maybe have some jewelry in there, maybe some grills. Who knows what they do with it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get creative with it, and that's just something that's going to be fun. So the VeVe Lands is amazing. The Omi utility for selling your collectibles is cool. The monthly subscription for the MCP, that's going to be awesome. For exclusive content and gain extra points as well. And then for the Master Collector program, you have the lottery drawing, the ranking, and the levels, and you're able to wage for the lottery, right? So it's pretty cool what's going to happen, and you're going to earn badges. Let's keep going. MTL. So next week is final testing. They already secured the bank. They secured the bank. They secured the bag. Now it's our turn to secure the bag. Article will be put out how FIA works. Each user will have KYC. Once KYC passes, then you're ready to go. I'm guessing they're probably going to tell you to upload your driver's license or something, all right, for KYC. So by next week, final testing is done. So hopefully, guys, in the next couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we actually get an article on how this is going to work. But finally, this is close. This is close, okay? It's happening. It's coming. Get excited, baby, because it's happening. Time for you guys to wake up. Web platform. Up next, number 14. No release date as of yet, but by early this year, if possible. That's all I got to say about it. They said that they have all the screens ready. They just need to add the features to it, okay? But I guess all the show screens are ready. Preloading gems. This was just a question that was asked. You don't have to preload gems. That's just a reminder. So anyone right now on the stream, you know, wondering, damn, you know, do I have to buy 100 gems for this drop? And if I don't get it, I missed out. No, you don't got to preload gems. But once you get this drop, guys, make sure that your debit card, your credit card goes through. Comic market changing. I love this feature, what they're doing. Because we all know that the marketplace for comics is just a mess, right? It's a mess. It's messy. So from now on, when you go to the comic marketplace, you're going to see all the comments listed. That's all you will see. Just the comments, comic books. Once you click on a certain comic, like for example, today's comic, Thor, you click on Thor, and then all the variants will show up. The common, the uncommon, the rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. So you'll see all the covers. If you're looking for a secret rare to buy, then you click on the secret rare, and then it'll take you to all the editions that are for sale. So that's the way that's going to break down. And the filtering for the comic books are going to be so much better with that implemented. VeVeVerse Real Estate 100. Yes, it will be like the me from Nintendo. We will all meet each other virtually. That'll be awesome. He's talking about Nintendo. Yeah. Virtual Monopoly. And this is something extra, guys. DesignerCon runs November 12th through the 14th. Let me erase this because I actually was able to catch the date. Don't know what month. It's actually November. Okay, it's actually November. And they're working with artists who drop collectibles. And they're going to have a lot of drops happening from the 12th through the 14th. There will be breaks also throughout the hours. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to be at DesignerCon for the drops. However, I'm thinking about showing up to DesignerCon. So I might just show up out there. I'm gonna look for the tickets later on tonight. Look at the flights and see what's up. I might just go ahead and pop my head in there. Sounds pretty cool. I was looking at the website for DesignerCon, and I mean, so far I like it, right? So you're going to have NFTs that are going to be showing, drop zones for NFTs. I don't know, will you get something extra? Maybe a t-shirt or something at least? I don't know, but it sounds pretty cool. I like it. I want to go out there and see the artists, see what it is that they got going on. Look at the Bear Bricks over here they got going, that they're working on. I believe that's Bear Bricks. So just curious to see, right, what they have going on out there. This will run, guys, from November 12th through the 14th. So this is going to be DesignerCon exclusive drops as well that will be happening from the 12th through the 14th. So get those wallets ready. Start working your overtime. Start separating some money because this is going to be another big event. And again, some of these NFTs will be DesignerCon exclusives. Comics are not sets. That was said as well. Due to the secret rares that are hard to get. But collectibles will contribute to the master collectible level. So if you hold 10, 20, 30, 40 comics, but it's not the full set, it's still going to contribute to the master collectible level that you have. So that's good news. That's good news. Don't worry about getting all of them. It's completely fine. Thanks, Janet, for that. 19. This was very interesting. And I'm going to tell you why I like this. If you own 3 Supermans, will that count as one set or several sets? Okay. So the co-CEO Dan said he believes that it will be counted as several sets. Okay. Guys, the Marvel Mighties are super cheap and they complete your set. I mean, they're not super cheap. Honestly, that's the whole entire workday for some people. That's more than an entire workday for some people, okay? You're talking about 300 gems or 260 gems. But due to this, look what I'm telling you. There's going to be other content creators, other people on Twitter that are going to be talking about this. The Marvel Mighties are going to go up because so far they're the cheapest one to obtain. So if they count as several sets, man, you're looking at people that have, right, 30 sets and all that stuff. Get yourself 30 Marvel Mighty sets. You in the game. You in the zone, baby. I'm not sure if it updates on the app, but I mean, I got to go ahead and try this out. Now, today, since it is VeVe's birthday, new licenses were signed today. Actually, a bunch of licenses were signed today. He did not disclose which ones, but he did say that one of them, people would have never thought that they would go into NFTs. So pretty exciting stuff, guys. And that completes the wrap up of the VeVe AMAs. It was a long one. How long has this stream been running for now? I have no idea. Maybe, yeah, it started at 6, so 2 hours and a half. Let me go to some of your chat, guys. But I'm very excited for the things that are about to come. Thank goodness by Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome to everyone on the stream, by the way, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content, the rundown, the overview. I know today I performed horrible not getting any drops. Saturday, we have the Harley Quinn drop at 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a massive drop. And I hope I get that one because I'm so excited for Harley Quinn. Hopefully I get that one. Astro with the fire signs. Angel with the shockers. Thank you so much for the wrap up. Missed the most of the AMA. It's all good. That's what I'm here for. Where you have a YouTuber, you have a friend. With that said, guys, appreciate all of you guys for being on the live stream today and enjoying the AMA. It is the VeVe Naughty. Season 1 is over. Season 2 is over with as well. Season 3, here we come. This is a quote. This is the VeVe Naughty. I'll see you guys on the Saturday's drop. Always remember, bro, let your next move be your best move. And always remember,
stay alpha. Stay alpha.